Hello, I'm Colby Kramer. I'm a natural resources and conservation major here at the College of Natural Resources. And today for my final project, I'm going to be talking about wireworm frequency in different agroecozones in 2012. Given the data that we have, I decided to come up with the hypothesis that wireworms were more prevalent in wet, cold agroecozones. Using the data from agroecozones in the Pacific Northwest for 2012 and wireworm samples from 2012 as well. So my experiment and model that I'm going to create is going to use those data sets and assess which zone will contain the most wireworms. And I did that in ArcGIS by layering the two data sets. As you can see here, we have the different agroecozones, which are the different colors, and then the black dots. They're kind of hard to see, but there's one, and then they're all throughout here. Those are areas where wireworms were sampled in 2012. To assess which agroecozone would have the most wireworms, I set up this model where I started off using the buffer on the wireworm locations. So I put a 100-foot buffer around each wireworm location, and then I used the clip tool to clip out the agroecozones within those buffers. And that gave me 100 feet around each wireworm location, and then I used that clip to run the frequency on which agroecozone was more prevalent within those 100 feet parameters around the wireworm samples. So after running the frequency, I was able to analyze the data and come up with these results. So as you can see, annual crop dry agroecozones only contained about 5,500 wireworms within their parameters. The fallow transition contained a little bit more with 7,200. And then obviously the wet cold agroecozone contained the most wireworms, which was about 24,000. And then wet cool just only had 6, irrigation had 9, and grain fallow had 8. So with these results, after looking at them, it was pretty obvious that the wet cold agroecozone contained the most wireworms. So going back to my hypothesis, which was that wireworms were going to be more prevalent in wet, cold environments, I came to the conclusion that my hypothesis was supported, with the largest amount of wireworms being in cold agroecozones. And that is my slideshow. So thank you.